you're doing a pot of coffee a morning, okay, I mean, you're talking 12 cups on average for a pot. If you're doing a pot of coffee, that's a tremendous amount of coffee going into the system. So it has some detrimental aspects to it, right? It's way, way, way too much of a stimulant going in because of the caffeine and all that stuff. You're drinking a ton of it in that sense. On top of that, coffees form something known as oxalates. Calcium oxalate is a byproduct of coffee intake. That's what forms kidney stones. So coffee has a little bit of a diuretic effect to it. It makes you pee. So you lose water when you drink a lot of
I
coffee.
think it makes you do both.
Well, so it makes you lose water.
Uh-huh.
And then on top of that, it gives you the ingredients that form stones, like sand in the plumbing. So it puts this sand in the plumbing and then steals the water away. So the odds of getting a stone go way, way up, especially if you're not a water drinker throughout the rest of your day. So as a rule of thumb, you want to not probably do a pot of coffee a morning. Now, can you do a couple cups? Yeah, without any problem at all. You can get away with a couple cups. People will grab the lattes in the morning with the 2 pumps of this and this, that.
Yeah.
All of that stuff it has as much harm to it as drinking the pot of coffee. So again, it comes back to that idea, what do you put in it if you want something? Whole milk is okay, but not a cup of whole milk, right? And the more creamers you get into, the sweets, this, that, and all the French vanillas, and they all taste good. But those then now start causing problems to the system.
Is the almond milk or the oat milk better for you than the whole milk?
Realistically, they're both worse than the whole milk.
Really?
Yeah, by far. So, because they're not really milk, right? It's almond juice.
Okay.
And it's oat juice.
Okay.
It's just no one will drink oat juice because it sounds disgusting.
Right.
So they call it oat milk.
Okay.
Right? But the point of those is that the processing and things that they do to those, and then the flavors that they add to them, and the water they throw in there, it has no real benefit over like a whole milk.
Okay.
Now, there's differences in whole milk. If your cows are loaded up on antibiotics and hormones and things like that, you get into trouble. Now, I'm a whole fat milk fan. I would never do a 2%, a 1%, or a skim, ever. Because, again, they're taking the fat out of that milk. Yeah. It's the fat that you need.
Okay.
And we raised really several generations on this idea that fat is bad. Fat is the only food you can put in the human body that does not raise blood sugar. It's the only one. Protein raises it, fruits, vegetables, they all raise blood sugar. Fat does not. So it actually stops sugar absorption. So if you have a whole fat milk and you put a little sugar in your coffee, the whole fat milk will slow down how fast the sugar goes into the blood.
Oh wow, I think that.
Same thing works for ice cream. If you do like these Cold Stone creameries and all those, those they use a lot of whole fat milk. It slows down how fast the body absorbs that sugar, so it doesn't have the bump on your blood sugar like you'd see with the commercial brands that you buy at the store.
Wow.
So when you're trying to keep weight down, that's a big deal.